Hello and welcome to a brand new tutorial. How you doing? So you can see we got a raid farm going on. There we go. Let's fly up. There. We got a new raid farm design. Oh, I've just finished a raid. See if we can get another one going in a minute. We'll try to keep it as simple as possible. There's only one trident killer. And all the items and XP, when that stops being quite so buggy, gets brought around and up to there into the storage. Now this storage you can link that up to your own sorting system eventually or whatever, but I just like to have a big bulk storage because these things do spit out quite a few items. And you may notice that we've got two villagers, and that's what makes this farm so quick. Because you trigger the raid in this village down there, but the raid party spawns up there in the wrong village, and then Minecraft, because it's Minecraft, it converts that raid into sort of residents of that village, which confuses itself. Minecraft gets confused and thinks that that wave has been defeated, so it'll cancel that wave and then spawn the next one in, and it'll just do the same. So then all the raid party up there have got pretty much all the time in the world to just fall down there and then get dealt with the trident killer. So you can breeze through raids in a matter of minutes. And there you can see we get the combined items. We get the pillager captain bits as well as the raid bits as well. So we got some treasure enchantment books there. Obviously we got the totems. So let me get onto a new copy of this world and I'll show you how to build this thing. So the first thing we need to do is find the spawn spot, and the simplest way in survival is to place a load of glass panes at head height all across this floor, and then you'll see that the pillagers spawn in and they'll get stuck where they are, and then we can come back and we can figure out the spawn spot. So what we need to do, we need to make sure we're facing north. So we take a locator map and we have a quick look. Yeah, we're facing north. Now mobs spawn on the northwest corner of a block, which is over in that direction. So we want to come to the southeast block, which is there. So we break that pane there, that's just to the lower right of the pillager. We break that, and then that block there is the spawn spot. And then we can just fill that in with a contrasting block, so we know where it is. And now we've got that figured out, we can start tearing down all of this outpost. So with everything cleared out and your spawn spot clearly indicated there, we can start building this farm. So again, make sure you're facing north, like so. And then on the bottom and the right hand side, place some blocks and you bring those up for 2. And then round the other side, 2 blocks above that spawn spot, you place a glass block. And so what will happen is the pillagers will spawn on there with their head in that glass, and that will push them out over the edge into eventually a trident killer. So we can fill in this back corner. And we want to extend this all the way around now to make a 4x6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just go ahead and fill all this in. And then we come underneath and we bring this down by 2. Like so, and then we can start filling in this floor. But what we want to do, we want to leave a 2x2 space there. Do something like that. From there, you place signposts on the edge there, and then you can place a water source under the spawn block, like so. And this is going to push any pillagers that sort of land in the wrong space will get pushed down into the trident killer. So back underneath, we need to bring this smaller area down 1 block. So we're going to make a 4x4 around that hole, and then we can start placing in the trident killer. So we place pistons facing inwards on the corners, like so, and then observers going round in a ring. So they start off facing into the piston, and then the next one faces that observer. Do that all the way around. And then another layer of your building blocks. So that all the way around. And then in the centre of that hole, we can now just place some glass panes. And this will let all the items and XP fall through. So we can place a lever on that piston there. Give it a quick flick on and off. That'll activate the clock. And then we can just flick it then to turn it off. And that's good to go, that's ready. So back at the top, we're now ready to build the drop chute going all the way up into the sky. So from this side, you do your 4x4. Like so. And then you do another ring all the way around it, because ravagers like to glitch through. So we always double up, make everything twice as thick. So you should have a little platform like that. And then also what you want to do is you want to fill all the bottom in as well. Just bring it in round to about there. And you want to do this on all 3 sides. Just make sure everything is covered up. On everything double thick. Yeah, we can move that lever out. Let's put that lever there. That's it. We can just fill all of this in, make everything double thick, just to protect ourselves from the ravagers. So once you've got this big box, what we can do is we can start extending this drop chute up now. So all of this needs to come up by roughly 120 blocks, which I know that's a lot. We need to bring this all the way up. Then what you'll end up with is this great big column of blocks. The great big drop chute down the bottom goes all the way down, and as you can see, it's a straight shot straight into the trident killer. There we go. So that means that the majority of the raid will actually die from fall damage, and the ravager will be at reduced health, which makes this quite a speedy farm. But that does mean you end up with slightly lower rates and a stack load of saddles as well, which might not be ideal. But if you stick around to the end of this tutorial, I'll show you how you can modify this area to get maximum drops and no saddles. So before we get the spawning platform in, we need to mark up a few key areas, and we need to mark 3 platforms. One is for the AFK spot, the next is the first village, and then the final one right near the top is for the secondary village. So if you come in near the bottom, find that spawn spot, there it is, find that spot, counting from there, we need to come up 24 blocks. There we go, you fill that out. Make this as big as you want, but you must use leaves or scaffolding because everything else is pretty much spawnable for the raid parties. So we do that. This is going to be the AFK spot, and then 12 blocks above this we need a platform for the first villager, and then from this village we need to go up 80 blocks. So that's right near the top, and it's probably best to get the villagers in now really. So break out a couple of blocks in the centre, place some temporary blocks, place your bed, and then bring a villager up. Now before you do that, make sure there are no other beds and no other workstations or anything like that anywhere near this, because you don't want to get the villages muddled up. So don't place any beds until you're actually ready to bring the villagers up. And I would suggest using a pillar of scaffolding, and then you can just drag them up with a boat then. And if you do it in the dark, it makes things slightly easier, because when you get the villager up there, he's going to immediately link with the bed and then want to sleep. Like so. And then when he does, you can go ahead, fill all this in. Like so. You need to leave a airspace there above the bed. Then fill everything else in. Then you should see this area will be 1 block lower than this platform, because we're going to bring this out, we're going to extend it out. So if yours isn't lining up, just double check everything, count everything up, and then maybe bring this up, bring this level up a bit. And then we can get rid of these solid blocks, just place leaves back in there. Then we go down, we do the same for the second village now. So with all that in place, we can start building the spawn platform now. So counting from this hole, we need to go out 8 in each direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like so, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do this all the way around, and then what you want to do is just join up all these like so, and then fill in all this middle section like so. So you should end up with a big platform like this, and then we need to build a wall around it. So you step out 1 and then up 1, get rid of that block, bring this round, and you need to make this wall 4 blocks high. So just fill that all the way around. And then finally we place a layer of leaves all the way around, and this is why the wall needed to be quite tall, because the ravagers, as they bounce up and down in the water, they can actually delete these if the wall is too low. So you want this wall nice and high, because if the ravagers do delete any of these, anything that gets deleted becomes a potential spawn point for the raid, and then you'll end up with the raid party being stuck there, which will obviously, that'll break your farm, and you don't want that. You don't want a broken farm. So just build that wall nice and high, and then cover it in leaves, and it should be good. On the inside of this platform, we come to the corner, we build a little chevron in each corner. There's 3 blocks, like so. And then we place water sources all across the straight edges. And you should see that all the water just stops at that point there. So then we go back around to each corner, place water source on top of these. Now you might find that if you're in a cold biome, then these water sources may start to freeze, which will break your farm. So the cheapest and simplest fix is just to spam loads of torches everywhere. Up there as well, just make sure it's nice and bright. So now we can start to think about the collection and the storage. So we make a ring. So make a 4x4 ring around the trident killer. We bring it down one more. And then we can start making a floor out of packed ice. So break one of these away and bring this down and then out one. And you want to extend this quite a few blocks until you get past your AFK spot. Then just come around and encase all these sides so that the water doesn't escape. Like so. And then we place a water source inside. It should flow down, it'll come out a little bit further. Let's see, there we go. Bring that to there. So we place one more block of packed ice, then a soul sand, like so. Place a button on there, and we can wrap that around. Like so. And then we can start building this up, because this is going to be an item elevator, a bubble column. Get rid of that. So we've got something like that. Now we need to extend all this up to just above the height of your AFK platform. So with all that in place, just around the height of your AFK spot, you place a chest a block down from there. Like so, make it a double chest, and then we place a couple of hoppers going into that. Like so, and then we can encase all this again. Come out one extra block and then place a glass pane there. Then we can get the water stream in. We place a temporary block there, place your water source, and then break your block like so. And then we can cover all this with solid blocks and inside there as well. And from there, what you do, you just bring this down. So you can have double hoppers. If you want it to come down quite fast, you can use double hoppers. Or if you want a little bit more storage, you can do a bit of this, where you stagger the chests. Like so. And you can take that down as far as you want. What I normally do in survival is use this as bulk storage for when I'm AFKing, because you will get a load of items from these farms. So I'll bring this quite a long way down, and then somewhere around here I start my sorting system. So you got all that for backup storage in effect. But just for this tutorial, I'm just going to show you this method. Just going to throw some down like that. That'll do for now. You extend that down as far as you need, and then like I said, you take it to your own sorting system. Then we can go ahead, we can fill this in a little bit more, give us a bit more room to walk around in. Like so. And while we're placing leaves, go ahead and put some across there, and then just look around the rest of the farm. Just make sure there are no spaces that need covering up. So that's all good. Come down here. We've got a ledge there that needs to be covered up. And if we come down this way, we need to fill this in as well. So again, we need to cover the water stream up so it's only a 1 block gap That way we don't get spawns inside the water streams. And we come round like so. And then again, fill all that in. Cover all that with leaves. So now it's time to put the tridents in, and if it's just a single player world, we can just break in there. It's like one block across and up from that lever. We can come in and we just throw your tridents in there. Just on the face of a piston. Just anywhere around there will do. And then obviously, if you're playing by yourself, you close that up. But if you're on a multiplayer world, if you're playing on a realm or a server, you might want to allow access to this. So what we can do, you can come on in. From the inside, you place a trapdoor on that observer like that. And then from the outside, you place it on the roof. And then that means you can close that off. And you've got access to the inside then. So if we turn it on, we'll give it a quick test. And then we come up to the AFK spot. And there we go, we've got a raid going on. We should see that it ends straight away. There we go. And what you can do, if you want to see what's going on, just make sure everything's working okay. You can break this out. Fill it with glass. Yeah, there they go. This thing is pretty rapid. You'll see again this wave will finish immediately. They'll all drop down. So with this we can get through an entire raid in a matter of a couple of minutes really. It's not long at all. Sometimes that is a little bit fast, so I would swap that for a full glass pot. There we go. Lots of lovely items on the way. So if you want to modify this so that you don't end up with a load of saddles and slightly increase your rates a little bit, then I'll show you now. Just get rid of that water. Get rid of these signs. Then you take magma blocks and you place them in an L shape like so. Put a new sign above that gap there and then place the water sources back. So that still works the same way. It'll still flush all the mobs into the trident killer, but now the ravager's too big and it'll go there, and the magma cubes and the magma blocks will then deal damage to the ravager. Now this does have a downside, it will make the farm quite a bit slower. But that's kind of the price we pay for getting rid of saddles. And just for a little bit of troubleshooting, if you're finding that you're still getting raid parties spawning down here, it means that some of this terrain is too high. So you need to knock it all down. Break that away. You know, some of this hill as well. Alternatively, you can expand the spawning platform up the top. So you'd break away these leaves and then extend this out another 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do that in all 4 sides and then make a great big wall around it. So if you've got any problems or questions or anything like that, just drop them in the comments below. But for now I think that's the end of the tutorial. So thank you for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please do leave a like. And if you'd like to see more, please do subscribe. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.